I'm just going to stay mute. What? What about me? Can you hear me?
With the House of Cards podcast, the show where we break down the art of creative real estate investing. Join us as we dive into the world of real estate with insider tips and tricks for making your investments go further. From buying with no money down to flipping properties for profit, we've got you covered. Plus, stay tuned for expert guest speakers who will share their knowledge and experience in this ever-changing market. So grab a seat and get ready to learn the secrets to success in real estate investing. And now, from Alaska to New York, your hosts, Chris James and Jesse Stanton.
Dude, from Alaska to New York to Kentucky today, as you guys can see, we have the most amazing Angel with us today. Angel Miller, how are you?
Good. Thank you very much.
Good.
Glad
Chris, can you hear us? Blink twice if you can hear us.
We can
Chris is still running his technology off of IBM. I think Chris, you're still muted, brother. But Chris, unbeknownst to you guys, he uses Pigeon for mailing letters. Was kind of twisting his arm to even introduce him to podcasting. Yes, he still uses the computers that when I was in 6th grade, I was learning how to type on. Welcome, brother.
Are you with us?
There he is.
There he is.
You're off mute now. Whoa, we can hear you. Ken Wilson. Pam, thank you for being here.
Hello, beautiful Pam.
Sorry, guys, we're having some technical difficulties this morning, as you guys can see. Angel, but how you doing this morning? Thank you for joining us today. This is going to be super exciting. We're going to have a lot of fun.
Thank you. And thanks, Ken. It's always great to start the morning with you. Ken and I are usually DMing at like 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock. You know, he's in Alaska there with you. So, you know, we text late in the morning. I can't believe you're already up. So that's great. Yeah, happy to be here. Been a busy morning already and ready to see what we can do for people today.
Always is, man. Always is a busy morning. Do you got other stuff you're doing today? Do you work 7 days a week?
I do.
You
Sundays,
do? You work 7 days a week?
Sundays I try to limit what I do, but
yeah.
When you do more than one thing, you know, you got to fit it in. Comes back 100%. To that time issue, right?
Absolutely. Got
to fit it somewhere. Oh, I wish I knew who that Facebook user was.
Oh, is this the same Facebook user? I've been working out. Oh, it's Joel. Joel here. Joel, you should know better now, brother. Dude, go up and click that link above the live video that says share my StreamYard, allow StreamYard to have access or something like that. There he is.
Ken.
Is this better? Can you guys hear me now?
We can really hear you now.
We can really hear you now. I don't know what's going on, but I really need a new computer. I'm not for sure what this laptop I had it for the last 3 years. Ken, what's going on, my guy? Good to see you here. Jesse started a trend, I see. Topher.
I love that, dude. Jeff is like, we can hear you, Chris.
Oh God, not for sure what's going on today. Not for sure, but I'm glad to be here. I'm glad you guys are here. What did I miss?
Nothing. We were just letting everybody know you just had some technical issues. No, you didn't miss anything. We weren't talking shit.
Not yet.
We're just like, Chris will be here with us just momentarily. Just yeah.
Pam, you're right. You're absolutely right. I have been saying that for quite a while now. I literally went to Best Buy the other day to try to look at different computers, and I just didn't pull the trigger. I was trying to find the right one. You know, I was on the phone with Jesse, trying to figure out specifically which one I was going to get, and then also I was on Amazon trying to price match, and I was doing too much transparently, and then I just
for a coupon.
But yeah, I don't know. It's about time to give up this computer transparently and just move on and let it go. Let it go. But I'm happy to be here. Thank you all for showing up today. As you guys see, we have the lovely Angel Miller in the house. So thank you for being here today. We're going to talk a little bit about mindset practices and of an investors. And that is hilarious.
Man, I wish I knew who this was. Guys, you have to do this for multiple reasons. Not only so we know who is making fun of us up here.
That's actually Jennifer Brown because she came up in my comments. Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you.
Yeah, guys, please grant StreamYard Facebook user access to show your name so we can see, make it visible and all that good stuff, so we can see who you're talking to. Yeah, it's not Verizon. It's close.
Can you hear me now?
Right. But more so, thank you all for being here. Jennifer Brown, what's going on? I hope all is well. Jennifer Brown is doing some amazing things. Just very niche. Not a lot of people are doing that. And Jennifer, I think we should have you on one day so you can explain thoroughly what that looks like on a scale. You can probably better communicate that better than we can, because it's your vision, is what you're executing, and I think that's phenomenal. Trixie, good to see you here. Good to see you. And so, guys, I was going through something. I was going looking back and reflecting a little bit, right? And this is technically episode 38. Technically episode 38, right? So that's 38 episodes, and more so specifically since we started this. And I happened to do a little bit of research and look like we actually dropped the ball. So this is all about failing forward, right? And technically, when I went on Spotify, I saw we only had 3 episodes. I'm like, damn, it's about minimum of 30 episodes. What's going on here? But I really was reflecting, and I'm very proud of a business partner, Jesse Stanton. Very proud of him, and just not on a business standpoint, but very professional and also personal. You guys have no idea what goes on behind the scenes. Like putting the podcast aside, putting the business to the side and everything. There's a lot of different things that go on behind the scenes that a lot of people are not aware of. Because everyone looks on Facebook, it appears that, everything is going so smoothly, and it's great, right? But at the same time, Jesse, I'm not for sure how to explain this or articulate this, but I'm gonna try my best. But Jesse literally, he shows so much dedication, is beyond ridiculous. Beyond ridiculous. There's never excuses. Never excuses. And I mean that, and I'm not just saying that because he's right here. I'll literally say that if he wasn't on the camera or off the camera, but there's never excuses. This man got a whole army, 18 damn dogs, 14 moose, and eight dog sleds, right? And he lives in
penguins next week, Chris.
He got an entire army over there in Alaska, and he still finds the time to more so not hop on Zooms, but make sure the business is still running, right? And that could be stressful. Even when I was down for the count, I think it was last week or the week before, I don't know. I just make sure, guys, you're taking care of yourself, by the way. Make sure you're taking care of yourself. But even when I was down for the count, he still made it sure the business was still running on all aspects. And I do appreciate that, and thank you for that. And more so, just to touch base on the back side of things, there's a lot that goes into running a business. A lot of people really don't understand specifically what really it takes. And it starts from the inner you, and specifically talking people always say you got to know the right people. You got to have the right relationships. You got to have the right connections. And that's part of it. That is part of it, but that's not the most important thing. I think the most important thing, in my humble opinion, is yourself. What are you doing yourself to try to get there? What does that really look like on a scale? Is your mindset right? Are you doing the right things? Are you sleeping 18 hours a day? Are you sleeping 8 hours a day, 20 hours a day? Or are you just pushing everything off that's on your to-do list till tomorrow? And a lot of people don't really reflect on that, really, because I used to do this. I'm speaking from experience, because I used to do this years ago. Push it off. Oh, I'll get to it tomorrow. Oh, I need to go to sleep. I need 12 hours sleep. This week was rough for me. Transparently, it was rough. Angel knows, especially the DC side. It was very rough. You know, it was times where I actually, it was Thursday going into Friday. I was going on 2 hours of sleep, literally 2 hours of sleep. And Angel, knowing me, I'm hard-headed. She tried she was trying to, just a little bit. She was trying to will me back in more so. I don't want to overwork myself, but it just where my mind was, it had to be done. It had to be done. Now, I'm not saying don't go to sleep, right? But find that balance specifically where the inner you understands where you're trying to go. And I talked to an individual this Wednesday night around like 10:30. Talked to this individual. I'm not going to say her name, and she said something that stuck out to me, which threw me off guard, but kind of made me think a little bit. She mentioned specifically that it's mandatory for her to get 10 hours of sleep. And I asked her why. She said, "Well, Chris, you will never understand." And I said, "Well, please try to elaborate so I can try to understand." So she elaborated. She has 6 kids. She's a single mom. Lost her husband 2 years ago. 6 kids, single mom, lost her husband. That's a difficult time, right? Could you stay in that place for many, many years and don't want to move forward? You could. Now, the conversation I had with her, I told her specifically, would you dwell on that would your husband who passed away will want you to waste your life away because you're creating excuses? And she specifically told me, she said, "Well, I don't think that's an excuse. That's my reality." And I said, "Okay, I understand. But I want to walk with your reality, and you're creating an excuse for yourself." I said, "I'm a single father as well. Not saying I have 6 kids, but I'm a single father as well. A lot of people don't know that. I'm a single father. I have, full custody of my son. My son's mother and I, we're in extremely great terms, amazing terms. But a lot of people don't understand I'm a single father as well. And there's a lot of different things that goes with, ensuring that your kid is taken care of and trying to have that, work and personal work-life balance, right?" And she kept going on about excuses. Well, I can't do this because of that. I can't do it because they got to get fed. Or I can't do that because of this. And I told her specifically, I said, you're going to be in this situation for the next 10 years. 10 years. And then she asked me specifically, what do I think she should do? And I said, I'm not going to tell you what to do. I said, based on my experience and my recommendation, this what I can advise you to do, but it's up to you if you take it and want to run with it. So I told her specifically, I think you need, because she wants to go into long-term, buying holds and all that good stuff. She really wants to focus on wholesaling. So she mentioned so many different things, which is great. It's in real estate, but she's in a position where she can do great things. She can use what happened to her past and level her up in a lot of different ways, and she doesn't see that. And the reason I bring up the story, because more so, this is an individual who was going to create so many excuses for herself if it killed her. Because that's the life she lived for the last 36 years. She's 36 years old. 36 years. Because that's the way she was raised. That she always had to work for somebody, or it was always more so like people were given it like on a silver platter, so to speak. And sometimes you got to work for it. Jesse, Angel, what we're doing right now, we work for where we're at today. It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. Let's be honest. It wasn't easy for those who are watching who have their own business. It was not easy at all. And the reason I bring that up because more so it starts with you specifically when it talk about mindset, when it talks about specifically starting a business. You got to be consistent. You got to jot this down. You can't specifically just have it in your head and expect everything to come to light. You have to have a plan of action, and more so having that plan of action is more so who, not how, right? You can do a lot of different things specifically. You don't have to know everything, which is amazing. Josh, good seeing you here, man. So it's just specifically start with yourself, reflect on yourself, stop giving excuses of why this person, that person, this person didn't do this for me, or that person didn't give me that. I don't want to hear that. Don't ever have a conversation with me about that person, this person, this person. Let's have a conversation how we can make money together, and how we can help each other's businesses, and not just that, how can we scale your business? What are you doing in your business? Where's the bottleneck, and what does that specifically looks like on a scale, right? And Facebook user, I wish I knew who this was. Please grant Jennifer again. Mm-hmm. Jennifer, come on, you know better. Please grant StreamYard access so we can know who we're speaking to. But guys, stop giving yourself excuses. If you want to get out of your situation, everyone's going through something. If you're going through something right now, get out of what is the next step to get you out of that situation? I kid you not. Think about it. Just take a second and really think about it. What is the next step that's going to get you out of that situation? Because you're going to be complaining to the next person for the next 5, 10, 15 years. And that kind of starts with your mindset. It really starts with your mindset. Jesse and I were supposed to close on a property yesterday. We were supposed to close on a property yesterday. We had a wholesaler bring us a deal 3 weeks ago. We had lending in place. We did our due diligence in regards to property. We had an inspector go out there. Property was great. We had contractors go out there. Everything was fine. We wanted to move forward. Everything was great. When I say based off the information that was given to us, everything looked great. We underwrote it properly. Everything was phenomenal. This past Wednesday, we found out. No, let me just give you a little context. This is a wholesaler who did this. This is technically would have been their first deal, and he was going to make $13,500. He was going to make $13,500 as a assignment fee. Jesse and I was going to pay him out that, right? Because the numbers make sense. Not just because we want to, but the numbers make sense. Now, from afar, the property's perfect. Newly renovated, great, on the market, ready to go. And on this past Wednesday, we found out that this is a subject. Well, we already knew it was a subject to deal. We received the PITI from the wholesaler. So we underwrote our numbers with the PITI, some other information that we had. Now, this is important. So why hiring a TC is very important. Our TC company on our other side found out the PITI was not what the wholesaler stated. The wholesaler was $1,000 off. $1,000 off. That could make or break a deal easily. So I reached out to this wholesaler, had a conversation with them, first via text. Say, hey, give me a call when you get a chance. He gave me a call. And that conversation, so more so, again, this is Wednesday. We found out information. Thursday, we hopped on a phone call. And yeah, Thursday we hopped on a phone call. Thursday we had a long 20-minute conversation going on why this is not a deal. So through that 20-minute conversation, he did not hear anything I stated. So I told him a couple of things. This is not a deal. The rents specifically that you the rents are legitimate, $1,800 to $2,000, but the PITI was at $900, right around $900. So that's the reason we took the deal, because we was going to do a long-term rental on this specific property. We had everything in place. Lender sent the money into escrow. We had everything in the works, ready to close, ready to sign. So the seller actually signed their documents, their closing documents. We didn't sign anything due to the fact of this information. So again, just to fast forward a little bit, we're on the phone talking to the wholesaler, and the wholesaler specifically, after I had a 20-minute conversation explaining why this wasn't a deal, you will never guess what his next statement was. And it dawned on me, he really doesn't care. So for him to make this statement, I'm not going to mention his name. I'm not going to put him out there. The statement is the statement was that he made after I started talking to him after 20 minutes. The first response was not, "Hey, how can we get this to the finish line? What do we need to do? What is the next step?" Nothing along those terms. Nothing. You're still going to pay me. You're still going to pay the $13,000, right? He's worried about his assignment fee. He's worried about his assignment fee. And I'm like, the seller is in arrears, $11,000. So a little back contact. Let me back up a little bit. So the house is gorgeous. The seller's in arrears. Unfortunately, they couldn't make the payments on time. So in arrears $11,000. The $11,000, from the information I received from the title company, the wholesaler told the title company that Jesse and I were going to pay those $11,000. However, we didn't find out nothing about we didn't know the property was even in arrears. We didn't know nothing about that either. So there's a lot of miscommunication that went on, that he didn't want to take fault, take ownership, and didn't even want to talk about it. He was more so worried about when I'm going to get my $13,000. So as we're going back and forth, he said, "Well, can't you just do a wrap? Can't you just do this? Can't you just do that?" He's not trying to, he's not understanding that specifically. We should be talking about how to resolve the seller's problem right now. The seller has a problem. How can we resolve this? Not how can we get you an assignment fee? And that's all you're worrying about. The seller's in a horrible situation where they're going to lose their house, and you're worrying about how much you're going to make. And when you're going to get your receive your money. That is a huge problem. Those are individuals I cannot work with. I can't. You're worried about your fee. You're worried about, that's it. Nothing else. Not that this property doesn't even cash flow. Not that this property, the information you gave me was false. The post you made in Facebook is incorrect. That's false advertisement. It's just a lot of different things. You lied to a title company without even communicating with the buyers about arrears that we had no idea about. Now, if it wasn't for our TC company specifically, who found out there was arrears on the property, the PITI specifically a specific dollar amount, we would never knew, right? And this is great that, I'm not bashing him or anything, but just more so the learning experience from it. That after everything that just happened in the last 3 weeks, and even as this specific week, he hasn't learned anything. He has not learned anything, and it kind of relates back to his mindset, because in his eyes, this is his first deal. And he happened to make a couple statements to me, which kind of stood out as well. When he told me, quote unquote, "Hey Chris, I put a lot of time into this deal. I nurtured the deal. I did this, I did that, and I did this. It did is I. But he has no idea what happens on the back end. No idea." And I said, "Well, how about this? Is there any way we can give you, the 13.5 you're supposed to receive, and the agent's supposed to receive about 10 grand? Can't you guys, come down a little bit to give the seller a little bit of money to walk away?" His answer was no. He didn't want to even talk about it. And then after having a simple, reflection, another 15 minutes into the call, he said, okay, I can give up $1,500. So to bring it long, make it long story long, this is an individual more so who really don't care about anybody else but their self. And that is a huge problem. That is a huge problem. Right. And it makes a bad name for wholesalers. Do Jesse and I wholesale? Do Angel wholesale? Absolutely. But wholesale with ethics, morals. Like you have to have some standards. You have to. Because a couple of things, you gave out false information. You went behind our back, told title company information that specifically that we didn't know about. And as a title escrow officer or attorney, they specifically has their job as a neutral individual to reach out to all parties to make sure they're on the same page. And that's what she did. She gave me a call to ensure, say, hey, Chris, just to let you know, I received a call from this individual. Just want to confirm that you guys agreed upon this. And then she sent in the email, which I loved. I followed with the email. I love that. And my response was, no, I did not have a conversation about this. So, yes, Jeff, 100%. Help the seller. That's a negative energy, no bueno. 1,000%. Always got to help the seller. Seller comes first. Unfortunately, we had to back out because we have a greedy wholesaler and we have an individual specifically who just don't understand. And sometimes you can't convince somebody who just has the same opinion. That's not going to change. That's never going to change. And that's okay. You know, that's them. It's just more so Jesse, I, and Angel, we just can't work with them, right? And that's okay. That is okay. And then more so, you know, I just want to, you know, preface with that and start off with that specifically because this is more so recent, just happened yesterday. And Jesse and I, we was mentally prepared to close on it. We had everything all our ducks in a row. We got insurance. We got insurance quotes. We was ready to move forward. We had everything. All we needed was just sign the dotted line, and that was it. But this is the perfect things where, you know, this is house of cards, right? You just never know what kind of hand you're going to be dealt. But the dealer busted. Didn't get us this time. So I just wanted to preface with that. And yeah, Pam, it's totally ridiculous. I couldn't agree more. It's just you get these inexperienced wholesalers, and I used to be inexperienced. Jesse, Angel, we all used to be inexperienced, but come on, you got to have some understanding of what the next steps look like. And I really wanted to get this to the finish line because this was his first deal. But you can't always force a deal to happen. You can't do it. Then, you know, we got our reputation, our credibility, our lenders on the line, our partners. It's a lot of different things that the wholesaler don't understand that goes into it. And
Chris, what are the repercussions of being a wholesaler and acting in that manner?
There's a misdemeanor. If it goes to a legal standing, misdemeanor could happen. Along with more so, perfect example, NOIs. People file memorandums, NOIs, lists pendants, affidavits of interest, whatever you want to call it, depending on a specific state. If they file that improperly, that's a misdemeanor. And a lot of people don't understand that. Documentation is everything, from a purchase itself to a assignment agreement. If all those doesn't align, and if the seller takes you to court or somebody takes you to court and your paper is not correct and you got an NOI on the property, that's a misdemeanor. And people just file NOIs just for the hell of it. And they don't understand they're getting themselves in trouble. That's why, you know, more so as, you know, running a transaction coordinated company, part of that process, we review that documents, right? And we literally let the clients know. Perfect example, 3 weeks ago. The client wanted to file an NOI, but his paperwork was incorrect. If he would have filed an NOI, they probably would have accepted it. But if it went to court, he would have got a misdemeanor easily. No questions asked.
Now, for everybody who doesn't know, what does an NOI stand for and what is it?
So, yeah, absolutely. So an NOI is a notice of interest. Some states, they call it a notice of interest. Some states, they call it a memorandum. Some states call it a lis pendens. If they're going to call it a lis pendens, it's mostly attorney states. Affidavit of interest. So more so, notice of interest for those who don't know, just to give you a little bit more content. So when you have a purchase and sale agreement, you want to protect your interest in this property, right? So you're going to file a note, a piece of paper letting the county and public record know that you have every right to secure this property and you have interest in buying it. Now, that stops any other wholesaler specifically from coming around you or another buyer investor from trying to scoop up the same property that you already have. Because if they do, another title company, another attorney, or another escrow officer will find that this is public record, and they'll look it up. Like, okay, no, John Doe actually has a notice of interest on this property. You can't buy this property unless you talk to John Doe. And in that specific situation, depending on the document, the seller actually can get in trouble for going on a contract with that next buyer.
So you got legal issues.
Correct.
And then what about the moral? What about the character? What about the the brand of that individual and his business, the integrity of it?
So those individuals, I don't see them going far. I hate to say it like that. They're wing themselves out. They'll fade out very easily. They don't last long in the industry. They may get a couple of deals done, great, but it would always come back around. What comes around goes around, and I truly believe in that wholeheartedly. And Pam, 100% right. Integrity is everything. That is everything. The way you work, not just in front of people, but behind the scenes as well. And that's the key part of it. A lot of people don't understand that it's not what you do in the front face. It's great. You could put on this perception of what this looks like, but it's really what you do behind the scenes. Are you staying consistent behind the scenes? Or if I'm getting off this podcast right now and going to sleep, what am I really doing behind the scenes? Would I love to go to sleep right after this? Absolutely. But I can't, I can't. I literally got another Zoom meeting today at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we got to get prepared for that one. So it's a lot of different things that goes behind the scenes. It starts with consistency, my mindset, and more so just understanding exactly who you really want to build a relationship with. It really starts with that. And more so, Angel is a perfect example because Angel is actually based in Kentucky, for those who don't know. Louisville, I never could say it. I think it's Louisville. Louis.
I think they
whatever the Bills is
Louisville
over there in Kentucky, they all the same to me. But but more so, Zachary, we do too. On some days, not every day, but some days. It's just a lot of different things. You got to have the right people around you, guys. Just make sure when you have those type of individuals, run, absolutely run. Pam asked, did he even ask you to educate you on what information is needed? No. He sent me the post, and then I verified via text. Hey, can you confirm what the PITI is? He told me the PITI, and more so after that, we did our due diligence on the back end, and then once we start going in, trying to get documents and all that good stuff, and when we requested it, looked at it, it was not good. So yeah, that's always key, guys. When you're doing a subject to, especially when you're in these situations, you don't want to have the seller linger, especially if you're not the buyer. Cancel. If you know you can't move forward, just cancel. Let them know. I know a lot of people send a lot of emails and stuff. Me personally, I like to hop on the phone. Just, hey, Mr. Seller. Like, I literally just tell them flat out, like, hey, this is a situation, I can't proceed. These are a couple options I'm looking at. If you want to move that direction, or maybe I could point you in the right direction, but don't ghost them. Your name is everything. Your name is really everything, and people don't forget that. And it's a small community. People think it's like a huge community, like over 100,000 people in it. It may seem like a lot, but it's small.
Dude, I can't tell you how many people reach out to me and they're like, hey, what do you know about this individual? Have you done business with this individual? Dude, 1 week, Chris and I both, we probably had like 5-6 people reach out to us about one individual in 1 week. And this 100%. Happens all the time. It is such a small community, man. You losing out on a deal of $13,000 by acting the wrong way, you're going to lose out on a lot more than just 13 grand.
Oh, 100%. 100%. And that was more so, I reflected after that phone call conversation, and I kid you not, I was thinking specifically, like, have I ever been in that situation? Did I used to think like that? And I was trying to think, like, if I ever got to that kind of situation, what would that really, would I be where I'm at today? And I don't think so. I really don't think I'll be where I'm at today, you know, with that mentality, that mindset. So, you know, I know today's all about mindset a little bit. Just, you know, I kind of want to preface in the beginning with that kind of individual. And Ken, thank you.
Oh, thanks, Ken.
Thanks, man. Mean a lot for that. And yeah, Ken's got a huge deal working on. I think that's gonna be phenomenal for you guys. You and Josh, great individuals. We actually got some content coming with that as well, Ken. Just to let you know, specifically, surprise, we recorded that thing. And
quick, one thing I want to hammer down on real quick that Ken addressed here. You know, he's such an amazing individual, and he's always like the first to express gratitude.
Yes.
And I'm so thankful for him and the relationship that we've all been able to build with working with Ken on this deal. And you know, one thing to be cognizant of, a lot of people I think you know, sometimes may miss the mark on is how do I get into the right rooms? How do I get around the right people? And I see posts all the time specifically asking for things like, hey, who are you guys using for taxes? Or who are you guys using for insert whatever? You know what I mean? And the fastest and best way to get around the right people is start asking, like, who is doing what I want to be doing first and foremost, and then who are they using? And that's who I'm going to go use.
Yeah.
And so, Chris, I mean, I'm going to put you and Angel on the spot real quick. I know this wasn't necessarily planned, and you guys have no idea where I'm going with this. But, dude, how many people have you guys talked to with either deals that you guys are helping on, people have come to you, or even deals that we're buying, where they open it up and they're working with another TC company, or they're working with another title company or whoever. And it's like, dude, if you would have just, it's very basic stuff, but it's so important, man, just to take notice of who's doing what you want to be doing and what services are they using. Because not only are you going to get that exceptional service for what it is you're trying to do, but also it's going to lead you to other relationships for people who are also operating at that caliber. It's almost like a water cooler.
Yep.
You know, but how many people have you guys talked to? I mean, just this week alone, I know of one off the top of my head, which is just like, which is nothing compared to the amount of people that you guys are helping out on a daily basis. But I think it speaks volumes. I mean, Ken right here, Ken is working on a multi-million-dollar sub 2. I think this is like what was it, an $8-9 million sub 2 or something like that? Maybe even 20. More. I don't remember.
19 million to be exact.
$19 million sub 2.
19 million, yeah.
$19 million sub 2. Okay, I was a little south on that. So $19 million sub 2. Yeah. And look at who he's working with. Look at the people that he has been introduced to as a byproduct of working with Angel and Chris and that faucet. It's amazing the mindset that happens as a manifest as a byproduct of simply just being around the right individuals. Because the individuals who are all competing, everybody who's so concerned about their wholesale fee, all those people are at the bottom. Everybody else that's making money, they're operating on a higher level. They're at the top. Everybody is up here collaborating, making introductions, all that kind of fun stuff. And so I just wanted to point that out, because it's something that I think it's easy to get really just engaged in the day-to-day monotony of business, and you're not really seeing too much beyond 2 feet in front of your own nose.
Can I just add something to that, Jesse?
Oh, please, Angel. Yes, I would love that.
Well, I know we hear it all the time, you know, you just kind of get in the right room with the right people. But the fact of the matter is, a lot of times you have opportunities to get in the right room with the right people, but then you get there and you don't perform, you don't commit, you don't show up, you don't do what may be asked for, you know, of you to do. So it's not just about getting in the room. It's how hard are you going to work to stay in the room? That's really the mindset.
I love that. I love that.
I mean, I
love
have
that.
never, you know, I mean, when I showed up for Chris, I've never missed one meeting, not ever, ever, ever. Matter of fact, I'm sending googly eyes sometimes, right? You know, you have to, you can't just show up. You got to show when you get there that you're committed to whatever the vision is, to, you know, all those things. So, you know, I know we're talking about mindset today, and that's a big piece of it. It's not just about getting in the room. It's about performing once you get there.
That's well said. That is well said.
I hope I'm performing, right?
Angel, we'll talk after this. But no, that's well said, and you couldn't have said any better. Once you get in those rooms, how well you're performing, and Jesse mentioned this a few times about the standard that Pace created for what was it, that mastermind? Jesse, remember that conversation?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that speaks volumes. That definitely speaks volumes. You want to touch on a little bit as far as just the accountability, the mindset,
Brent
and
Daniels one?
That is correct.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, that has just been a staple in our business since that. And yeah, man, I never thought of accountability like that. And Chris and I talked about accountability on our podcast, I don't know, a week or two ago. But I see there's three different levels of accountability that I understand it. And one is kind of like people always say things like that. They're like, well, hey, I'm looking for an accountability partner. I'm looking for this. I'm looking for somebody who can come in here and help me and hold me accountable. But they really don't want to be held accountable. They just want somebody there to come in and be show up and be in the stands for when we have practice and when we have games and things like that. And just, hey, you're kicking ass anyway, bro. You're doing it. You're doing the right things. You're taking action. Hey, you know what? You didn't get to it today. So what? You got tomorrow. There's always tomorrow. So I think for the most part, when it comes to accountability, I think people need to have a higher standard of accountability when it comes to their business. I think just that principle alone, to go along with what Angel was saying, like if you can get around the right people and you can put in place the right accountability measures, and you can just hold yourself to that standard of not only performing once you get there, but you got to perform to stay there. I mean, you will start to see massive, massive shifts in your business. And I've used, this is one of my favorite Jim Rohn quotes amongst many, and I've used it countless times, but I'm going to go back to it because it holds so much truth. It stood out when I first heard him say that for a reason. And he said, if someone hands you $1 million, it's best that you learn how to become a millionaire so that you get to keep the money. And I thought that was just so prophetic. It was like, oh my gosh, that is amazing. It literally explains why athletes make money and then they go broke, why people win the lottery and then they go broke. Like, it's not enough to just get the money and then just go buy Bitcoin or something like that. There's so many other things that people aren't thinking of. Like when you're in the news and everybody knows that you just won $25 million or $250 million or whatever it is, what is that going to do to your relationships? What is that? Your family, who thinks they are now entitled to some of that money.
Like, where were you?
Are you prepared to have those fucking conversations? You're not. You're not the type of person that knows how to do it, let alone maintain it and hold on to it. And so there's this big transformation that has to happen. Like Jim Rohn said, you have to become the type of person who can hold on to make $1 million if somebody was to hand it to you. And so that only not comes from having taken some time to educate yourself and become financially literate, but also just the mindset and everything that goes into it, being able to understand, what, not only what to do with it, but how to have those difficult conversations when people are going to come knocking at your door. Family, friends. Who's the guy that wrote Napoleon Hill? Mm-hmm. There's a quote from him. It says something along the terms of, the reason that most people struggle with success or don't find success or something like that is because they take the advice of their friends, family, and neighbors.
That's true.
And so there's a lot of self-development and things that go into just being able to have those conversations alone. And You know, you can't afford to not be doing that. And so back to Chris's point about accountability, one of the things that Pace shared with us was putting together a board of advisors. And he shared a story of him getting a phone call from Brent Daniels one day. And Brent was like, Pace, I need you to get over to my office, like stat. So Pace runs over there, and there's a whole bunch of people over there. And basically, long story short, Brent says, hey, I need to know what's in your account right now. I need to know how much money you're making right now. That's a big, tall order to ask somebody. But when you're also looking for extreme accountability, when you're looking to really level up, what are you going to do? And so there was a couple people that walked out, but everybody who stayed, Brent told everybody, said, hey, you need to be making 25% more by this time next year in your business, or you are out of the circle. You're in the circle now. And like Angel said, you have to work to stay in there. But not only do you got to work to stay in there, you've got to perform above and beyond. You have to continue working and becoming that person that's capable of continuing to level up. And it requires being able to see life, business, relationships, and opportunity through a completely different lens, through a completely different filter. Pace, I remember Pace, he came out with a reel or something this week that I saw. But he's like, dude, you have all these people who are stuck at like 1 or 2 deals a month and they have no idea how to level up in their business. It's because of this right here. It's because they're so focused on what's in front of their nose, like what CRM do I use or what list do I skip trace, that they're not seeing the bigger picture. They're not taking the time to work on their self-development and their skills to become a better leader, to learn how to properly delegate, to learn what a CEO should be focused on that's actually going to grow their business and working on their business and not in their business. So all of this comes again, like with accountability and just being around the right people. And you can meet those right people, through, I would go have a conversation with Chris and Angel and say, hey guys, I'm looking to level up. Who's coming to you guys consistently for deals? How can I not only work with you, but how can I continue? This is what I'm trying to do. Who can I connect with? Who can I go serve? This is the value that I can bring. And until you have that kind of clarity, until you stop focusing on doing every little thing in your business, you work on one thing, you get extreme clarity on what it is you're trying to do. You surround yourself with the right people, and you hold yourself to that fucking standard. You guys will start seeing your business just do this. All the information that you would ever need in your business is already available for free.
That's so true. So true.
It's all over the internet.
Yeah, and you don't be afraid to fail on that journey, because you can get in the room and you could work hard and you can do it, but you're going to fail. Everybody fails. You're going to fail. But if you're right around the right people, they'll show you how to fail forward.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We did a lot of that. Failing forward.
There's a concept that I really love. Most people take that ready, aim, fire approach. But as an entrepreneur, you should be taking that ready, fire, aim approach. And I think that's been one of the biggest things that has aided Chris and I and that's why Chris, I don't know if anybody knows it, but Chris and I are both visionaries. We're both business partners and we are visionaries. We don't have an integrator. But a lot of it comes down to mindset. A lot of it comes down to accountability. A lot of it comes down to doing what we say we're going to do, regardless of whose job it is, or what role we have. We're going to make sure that it gets done regardless. So a lot of it comes down to mindset, and I'm very thankful for Chris in that regard. Well, in a lot of regards, but we both take that ready, fire, aim approach, and what that means is we go in here and we just take massive amounts of action, and we're willing to fail forward. We're willing to just go out here and fail, and you're ready, and then you take that plunge, you fire. And while you're coming out of the barrel, while you're flying through the air, just flying by the seat of your pants, that's when you're failing and you're overcoming these obstacles. And each time that you overcome these little obstacles, that's when you're narrowing your aim. And that's when you hit your target. Nothing will prepare you for the obstacles that you're going to face as soon as you come out of that barrel, metaphorically speaking. You can't sit here and prepare for it and watch YouTube videos and ask people and all these other kind of things. There are things that are going to happen that you just can't prepare for.
Yeah.
And the skills and iterations and habits and thought processes and mindsets and all the things that are going to level you up to becoming that person that you're capable of becoming, that you have to become in order to make those kinds of amounts of money, can only be taken from a ready, fire, aim approach. And if you have the right people around you, if you have the right level of accountability around you, that's where you'll start to see these big, just massive changes in your business. So don't look for people to hold you accountable. If you're new, or if you're still working on your first deal, or if you are only doing maybe 1 or 2 deals a month and you're looking to level up, don't find people that are at your same level. There's nothing against those. Be a go-giver. Go help those people. But you got to put your oxygen mask on first. You need to take care of you first. So make sure you have the right people in place that are doing more than you. They can hold you accountable. Don't have people who are going to come into the bleachers and say, hey, you know what? I get it. I've got 4 kids as well. There's a lot to juggle. It's okay if you didn't get that done. It's not okay. It's fucking not okay.
You guys see what I deal with?
Okay,
No,
man. What'd you say?
I said, you guys see what I deal with? Chris, get your ass out of the bed. But no, well said. Well said.
So get those people kind of like remember the Titans.
Yes.
That accountability. It was like, hey, if you lose a game, you're done. Coach, the other coach, whatever his name is, he comes in and you're out. Take that level of approach. It doesn't matter what level you're at. If you can that's another mindset thing right there. If you can approach things from that mindset, if nothing else, that you can be more consistent and you can hold yourself accountable. You can have other people that hold you to that level of accountability. Guys, I promise you that those 2 things alone will put you in a position over the next 90 days. If you take action on those 2 things alone over the next 90 days, going into fourth quarter, you'll have a much bigger platform to launch into that next phase into your life and in your business.
Amazing. Fail and grow.
Yeah.
I love that.
Love it.
Fail and grow.
It's constant.
Fail and grow.
Yeah.
So, guys, we really appreciate everyone being here. Don't forget to more so if you have any questions, concerns, or just want to find your way. Jesse and I we're building something right now specifically to help those individuals. And I believe we're going to be launching that in a few weeks, if I'm not mistaken. Jesse, you'll probably speak more about that, or you want to talk about now, next week, or should we not?
No, it's actually, we're doing it this Wednesday.
Oh, just kidding. We're doing it this Wednesday. Just kidding.
Guys,
it's
gonna be one of those places for you guys to come in here and get around the right people and to level up your business, level up the things that you guys are doing. I promise you, you're not going to want to miss this. This is something that's very high level. We're doing it for free, and we hope that you guys find a lot of value from it. We hope it helps you guys. So the point of this thing that we're doing is going to basically be putting each week, we're going to put somebody in the hot seat, and Chris and I are going to tear apart their business and rebuild it back up in an hour.
Is that what? Is that 2:00 Eastern Standard Time?
That is
2:30.
We don't have it this Wednesday. It'll be from 2:30 to 3:30, but I don't know if that's going to be the reoccurring time that we do it. So you have to register for this if you guys want to participate in it. Not only participate, even if you just want to be there and just listen to how these things are going. There's so much value in just going in and listening to what other people are doing, the obstacles that they're facing, and then listening to the feedback that they are being given, so you can take that and you can implement that into your own business. So Yeah, that's going to be on Wednesday at 2:30 to 3:30 p.m. Eastern time. It'll be every Wednesday. Again, don't know if that's going to be the exact reoccurring time, but yeah, if that's something that you guys want to be part of, shoot me a DM. By the way, like this is very high level. We're doing this for free, and so consequently, we're also going to have a filter process to make sure that only the people that are wanting to be there are actually going to take action. So this is not going to be a thing. This is part of Chris and I leveling up as well. We want other people coming to this that we can continue growing and building relationships with. And so part of that I'll just tell you, part of that filtering process, if you shoot me a DM and say, hey, Jesse, can I have the link to register for next week? I'm going to say, absolutely you can. And I'm going to send you the graphic and say, hey, I need you to share this so other people see it, because I think this is something that a lot of people would benefit from, and I'm not seeing anybody do this. A lot of people are focused on, the stuff that's 2 feet in front of your nose, like cold calling or what to say, or although that stuff is important, we want to get to the big stuff. We want to get it's much easier, guys, and this is stuff that we'll go over within this business. It's much easier to 10x your business than it is to double your business. And this is a concept that we will dive into deeper throughout this series. So as a part of doing this, again, this is going to be free, but this is only going to be for people who are willing to take action. And that action item is, if you DM me wanting information about how you can register for it, I'm going to send you the graphic, say, hey, I need you to share this, invite and tell other people to this, then DM me when you've done that, and then I will send you the link. Most people, believe it or not, most people won't even do that. And that's great, because that's you let the work be the filter. Thank you, Ken. Appreciate you, buddy. I'm proud of you. I love you. But yeah, that's the thing we're going to be doing. It's called Business Breakdown.
These are fun.
Every Wednesday. So this will be super fun. Really excited about it.
Absolutely. Oh, go ahead, Angel. I'm sorry about that.
That's fine. I was saying, James and I have done a few hot seats on our show, and they're fun, and they're really great learning experiences for the people watching, because you're going to touch on a lot of things that they're experiencing, and to have you guys sharing how to kind of mitigate those issues is going to be great. Can't wait.
Appreciate it. Definitely appreciate it. And guys, don't forget to subscribe. We're on Spotify, iHeartRadio. We're also on Amazon Music. Whatever your favorite destination where you like to listen to music, we are on there as well. So we have, if you just now joining, we have currently 3 up there, but I will literally do my due diligence. And how about this? I want you guys to hold me accountable to ensure that I upload all the episodes that last.
I feel like we just went to your computer mic or something, bro.
Yeah.
It's a little hard to hear you. You're on mute now. While Chris is fixing that, I'll just add this real quick while he's working on that. Guys, again, this just goes back to doing business with other high-level people and just leveling up your network, your accountability, your relationships, all that kind of fun stuff. If you guys need TC service, this is to Chris's point, and I didn't even know that until just now, bro. But I didn't realize, like, submitting an NOI under the wrong circumstances, I didn't even realize that was a misdemeanor, but I could see why. And it's also a big reason why I don't do paperwork. I need to make sure the right people are in right place to make sure that all the legalities, especially when it comes to creative stuff, is being done correctly. So if you guys need any paperwork or know anybody that needs their paperwork done, Chris and Angel are amazing, obviously, and they have an affiliate program. So if you guys know somebody who needs paperwork, guys, they will pay you to refer business to them. So go hit them up about the affiliate program. Absolutely amazing. If you guys need a bookkeeper, Chris and mine's bookkeeper, who we use for multiple of our businesses, is expanding. And she's looking to take on a handful of other clients. So if you guys need bookkeeping services, please reach out to Chris or I. We can definitely, make that introduction, help you guys out.
Absolutely. Can you guys hear me a little bit better now?
Yes, sir.
Not for sure. See, Best Buy, I'm going to Best Buy, guys, right after this, and just gonna pull the trigger. I'm just gonna do it. But no, sorry about that, guys. Just don't forget to subscribe. We're on, a lot of different platforms. Whatever you listen to on a daily basis, I'm pretty confident we're on there. There's about 13 different ones that we're currently on. So whatever that device or platform looks like on your end, subscribe. And I want you guys to hold me accountable to ensure that I do upload the rest of the episodes for the last 30-ish weeks. Give me to Tuesday. I will say Tuesday because it does take a while to download them.
Well, the way that your internet's running, bro, we're gonna. You might want to give yourself about 30 days or so.
30 days. Download a day.
That IBM computer and then the dial-up. Yeah.
Definitely appreciate it. And guys, we will be having a special guest. We actually will be having an owner of the title company come on and speak. He's actually licensed in 13 states and moving to national. He's been a great friend and great partner to our company, and he's been doing phenomenal things. So if you guys want to know about that specifically, we'll send a lot of different we'll let you guys know ahead of time. That will be happening in 2 weeks. Actually, I'm sorry, I gotta look at the day. I think it's 2 weeks or 3 weeks. I gotta relook at the calendar, but super excited to have him on. He's going to be talking about the nuances of what really looks like from an owner standpoint of running a company as a title, as basically a title company. And I can't thank him enough. He's amazing. Angel and I have been working side by side with him, and he's definitely helped both the TC and the Third Minds business tremendously as far as ensuring that everything's taken care of from paperwork. Ensure that both sides are. See, that's a lot of people think. A lot of title companies, they probably think that title companies is not out to get them, but they're only working for one side. Ultimately, they are a neutral party. They're a neutral party. They, at the same time as TC, they're a neutral party. We're just here for a common goal. Wholesalers, you got to feel the same way. You got to feel the same way. But no, he's going to be on a few weeks. That's pretty exciting. And then we're going to be talking about a couple different things going into the new year and the holidays and all that good stuff. Super excited about what's to come. Jesse and I got a lot of things cooking. So please stay tuned. Feel free to reach out if you guys have any questions, any concerns, anything. We're all here. Angel Miller, how do they reach out to you? Is it morning, afternoon, late night?
Angel doesn't sleep.
No, you can reach out to me through Facebook or Instagram, Angel Miller 444. Yeah.
Angel Miller 444.
44.
Why is there only 3 fours when it's 4s?
4.
Because 1 through 443 was taken, Chris.
1 4.
There you go, Jesse. Good enough.
Oh, that is hilarious. But no, guys, if you want to reach out to her, she can help you in many ways. Just we're here to be a resource. That is it. We just want everyone around us to be successful and succeed on a high level. Any final thoughts, Jesse?
No. This business breakdown is going to be something that's very unique. So you can't afford to miss it. This is going to be really awesome. So I'm super excited about it. So tell everybody, help us build this, guys. You guys bringing more people in and telling, sharing this kind of stuff with other people helps us continue to help other people. So thank you guys very much for the opportunity. Yeah, that's it, man. If you guys don't mind, if you guys got value from today, please take some time and to share this podcast with somebody else. We hammered down on a lot of stuff, and Chris and Angel shared some very, very valuable nuggets and dropped some really great bombs. So thank you both for being here. I appreciate you both. Thank you. I love you. I'm grateful for each of you. And thank you guys again for being here with us today.
Thanks for listening to the House of Cards podcast with Chris James and Jesse Stanton. We hope you've enjoyed this episode and have learned something new about real estate investing. Be sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram for more tips and tricks. And don't forget to subscribe on your favorite podcast platform so you never miss an episode. Until next time.